That was a great day. Oh man, back in pads, humidity is as high as it could be. So great challenge for the guys. Highlight of my training camp so far is punt return. Full speed drills. Everybody gets one shot. You know, it's a heart drill. You know, who wants it more? And there's technique involved for sure, but it is a lot just strain. You know, so it was good to see that. Can't wait to watch the film and kind of see who popped, who showed up on that. So. And then just a great move the ball session at the end, challenge him with the 3rd and long, try to get into a 4-down situation, and then we just kind of had a normal drive to see if we can move it and see if the defense can get off the field. So I thought it was just a really good day. The guys responded to the work, came out full speed, great effort the whole way through, which is what we're looking for.
Dave, Hunter Renfro was not participating.
Yeah.
Looked like he was kind of walking a little gingerly.
Yeah.
What's the latest on him, Patrick Jones, and Mike Jackson?
Yeah, Hunter tweaked his hamstring. I asked him, I said, shoot, if we had to play Sunday, you think you're playing? He's like, oh, I'm playing. So just something that we, caught early, wanted to take care of him right here. I knew this was going to be a high day. We'll have a couple of days to get him recovered, and then we'll check in back when we in a couple of days and see where we're at. And then who else?
Mike Jack and Pat Jones.
Yeah, Mike Jack's got a sore toe. We gotta just have to manage that and treat it right now. All the imaging and everything looks like everything's good, everything's intact, just kind of stepped on it weird, so call it a toe sprain. But I think we're just being smart with that one, and we'll get Mike back pretty quickly. And who else did you have?
Pat Jones.
Pat Jones, upper respiratory, just couldn't sleep last night. And he was out here watching practice today, but we just didn't feel comfortable putting him back out at practice. Just, had a lot of tightness in his chest. So, they're treating him well in there, and we'll hopefully turn him around and get him back out to practice.
First illness
Yeah.
versus not like a oblique or anything?
No, just illness, yeah.
Dave, seemed like the most competitive practice of camp so far.
Yeah.
Bryce Young was in the middle of it. What made him so effective today, do you think?
Just guys being where they're supposed to be, and we're still working through some timing things, some void throws, some different, little tweaks to routes, but the guys are being where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. I mean, that's first and foremost. If you're going to be a skill player in the pass game, be where you're supposed to be, so Bryce can count on that. And I just love the way that it goes back and forth, offense, defense, and the guys each making plays and battling and competing every down. So it was the competitive environment that's happening out here is great. It's special. I love where we're headed.
You saw T-Mac drop a pass and then come back and catch like 4 or 5 straight balls.
Yeah.
For a rookie to be able to kind of wipe his memory of maybe a misplay or whatever and attack the ball the way he has.
Yeah.
What are you seeing from him mentally in practice?
Just shows a lot of confidence and belief. He's had some pretty bad plays, throughout camp, and he's had some excellent plays, and I think when you have a guy, he's teaching me stuff about him that I don't know, just looking at his character for him to, when guys bounce back quickly, it speaks to their confidence. They know they're good. I'll do it again. I'll be good again. And that's really powerful self-talk, and something that we try to remind all of our guys is to remember, good or bad play, I've done it before, I'll do it again, and have that kind of thought process, and he's showing that.
Has there been a common denominator in some of the struggles?
Not really. Yeah, I think honestly it's been just physical play. Whether it's JC or whether it's Mike Jack or Corey Thornton is having a great camp. Shamar's been making plays. Caleb Evans, there's a really good competition, in the corner room. And these guys are all big. They're all over 6 feet. They're all over 200 pounds. And so that's a good recipe for against big receivers, and so he's got his hands full every day, and it's bringing out the best in him, and he improves. Today I thought was his best day of camp, so he's learning how to play that game, and just continue to use his body.
You mentioned Corey Thornton there, saying he's having a great camp. It seems since even day one, he's been given the opportunity to rotate in with the ones. He's been in there the last couple of days at Mike out. What have you seen from him from the spring to now that's gotten him in this position? Yeah,
he earned those reps in the spring by being where he's supposed to be, by being clued into our calls, and then making plays on the ball. Bottom line is when the ball goes up, somebody's got to make a play. It's either the receiver or the DB, and he keeps showing up long and heavy at the ball, and so he's doing a great job.
Dave, Shaw seems to have gotten pretty vocal. Just in addition to his play, how have you seen that evolve as he's gotten more comfortable?
Another really confident kid, and I think Shaw's like his understanding of the schemes, his communication, all those things. Now we're seeing the personality, and I love this. Again, something that I keep coming back to. When I start seeing personality, I know they're comfortable with what we're doing, and that's a I got to give a lot of credit to the coaches working with these guys, but these guys putting in the work, and being able to continue to grow in their roles.
Backing off of Cassidy, it seems like the whole team is more vocal.
Yeah.
Does that bring a certain edge to the group? Does that fire you up as well?
Absolutely. I love it. And because, my thing to them is, guys, you got the green light to show us who you are. I'm giving you permission to make this team be what it's going to be. And particularly for each individual, show us who you are. Bring all of you, and if something's a little bit out of sorts, I'll approach it. I'll talk to guys about it. I thought there's 2 plays. JC made a beautiful interception today. Then he punted the ball. Okay, we can't do that, So then what happens? JT catches a great pass and spins it in front of the defense. These are penalties. We want to be a smart football team. We can't have those things, guys. Let a dominant play be dominant. Let it speak for itself. It does. And so I address those things, but I also kind of like it. I like the edge. I like the back and forth. But we got to be smart.
Dave, how's Rico looked, and what are your kind of plans for him at running back? You seeing him as more of a third down guy, or?
I don't want to get into the specifics of it. I think Rico has a lot of things he can do really well. He gives us, some variety of play types that we can do. But I think just in general as a starting point, he's exactly what we're looking for out of running backs. They run the runs the way they're supposed to be run, with discipline. They press the feet of the linemen, and then once they get past that first level, they run with violence. He does those things. He's exactly what we love about Chuba. He's exactly what we loved about Jonathan Brooks, bringing him in here. That's why Trevor Etienne is here. Even Raheem, just, the style that Raheem just runs 100 miles an hour. I'm going to go down the list now because Amani Bailey, same thing. He's all gas. And then Kayron Adams, he's another guy who just tough style of runner. These are the types of guys we want to have here. And I think Bernie does a good job of just kind of stoking the fire in the room, and those guys really set the tone of our practices. It starts in that running back room. Yes, we got to depend on the front players, the offensive line, but it's the finish of the running backs that makes the defense chase, work on angles. It makes them have to get behind their pads because our guys are running hard, and it makes us all, it's like this run game just kind of brings the whole unit together.
We were able to get him here. I mean, he had a starting role there last year.
I was super excited. I was really grateful to have 2,000-yard backs in the same room, and guys with experience, guys who can really do it all, who can pass protect really well as well, catch the ball in the backfield. He does that, so I was ecstatic. Dan Brandt and I were kind of working through the thing, and it looks like we're going to have a chance to get this guy, and I couldn't have been more excited.
You were talking about long corners earlier. It's kind of the Seattle blueprint. What was it out there that kind of locked you guys on that pro?
Yeah, I just think that length is forgiving. You love to have them all be like JC, runs 4.3, and he's tall and he's long and all the things. But when you're a 4.5 guy, length is forgiving. And the guy may have a step on you, but if you can go to that late win and get the hand in between his hands, you can make those plays. And then on top of that, it's just like their involvement in the run game. Coach E is so crazy and adamant about the corner showing up in the run game, and those big physical guys, whether teams are running a duo or a stretch play at them. When we got a call on them to be on their fit, they show up with physicality, and that really fires the whole group up when the corners get involved in the run game.
There was kind of a play that illustrated that in individuals where Jack Henderson kind of was able to kind of stretch out and break up a pass. Length at safety too is seemingly there. Do you like having interchangeable players based on body type like that?
Absolutely. If a guy can give himself a chance to have multiple roles, he increases his chance of making the team. And then the special teams, of course, like we talked about, is huge. But yeah, length up front. If you're an offensive lineman, sometimes you get out of position. Having good length allows you to let your feet catch up. If you're a defensive lineman, you keep guys away from your body, and then you can work edges. It works all across the field. That's something that is an advantage to a lot of players.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Oh, yes. Oh, one more thing, too. Just wanted to give a shout-out for FanFest. So Saturday, unbelievable event. Fans are coming out, families are coming out, of the players and the coaches as well. It's going to be a great celebration, and just kind of wanted to talk about that for a second, just because what's happening out here. Unfortunately, this year we're not allowed to. with all the construction and the improvements we're having, we don't have the space to have all of our fans here, but I just want them to know there's something special in the competitive nature, and I can't wait to show off what that looks like at FanFest.
Full pads for FanFest?
We will. We'll be full pads, and we'll be all live, everything but laying out and tying up guys' legs. You know, we want full tackling, hitting, all that thing, but we just kind of ask the guys, to take care of each other in those vulnerable spots. But we're going to play football. We need it, and it'll be a great opportunity for our group to kind of take the next step together, to have extended move the ball, call it periods, where we have to operate from the sideline. The guys are out there. They got to communicate. They got to talk. So I'm really excited about that.
Thank you.